being the home of Guinness World Records, we are fortunate to say that this is also the birthday of Castlebridge, being the birthplace as well. So it's a very special day indeed for us. For those of you who don't know, it all started here in November 1951, when there was an argument over which the fastest game bird in the world, and the solution to that argument was there needs to be a book of facts, and that became the Guinness World Record book that was produced in 1955. Being a birthday today, it's obviously a time for us to reflect, and it's also a time for us to look forward, and that's what we'll be doing today. So this year, our group is Castlebridge Inspire. We have been involved in two very significant records. One was in August during the FLA, where the tin whistle world record ensemble record was achieved with 2,516 musicians, and I think we have some of those musicians with us today. In addition, there is also a very significant record in New Zealand this year, which was the Haka Ensemble record, which happened just over a month after what we did here in Wexford. That record was very significant. It had been attempted no less than 3 times prior, and it was only on this occasion that the Haka World Record returned to New Zealand. So it is very much a national pride, and you'll hear some of the commentary on that later in some of the videos. So as you can see, there's 2 very significant records, but there's also a connection. And that's what we're here today, and that's why we have the ambassador with us, because it's our town connecting with New Zealand, our town celebrating, our town and our country celebrating these great achievements in common with our friends now in New Zealand as well. So we're going to, just a quick run of order, we're going to hear the national anthem, and we're going to hear the 2 songs that we played, that were played at the FLA record this year, The Boys and Girls of Wexford and The Dawning of the Day. And this is School Murku from Albert, and we have Brian, your Brian, principal, and Hamish as well here. And we're also accompanied by Barbara Walsh and Catherine Roach, who were heading on the flag as the Timberson record. So I'm going to leave it over to the group, and we're going to enjoy some music. I'm just going to call on Trevor now for a few words of acceptance.
Kia ora tātou katoa, tēnei whare tēnā koe, whare tēnei tēnā koe. Thank you very much for having me here. What I've said is greetings to all of you, both as a group and individually. In our culture, getting both of those right is really important, and I've also said to the area, Castlebridge, and to this particular building that I greet you, and that is what we do when we're on our meeting places in New Zealand. We call them marae, and it's on marae at our meeting places that we most often, I'm probably living the past. When I was younger, we would most often see haka at our marae. Now, actually, schools and community, it is something which is spreading and spreading and spreading, because it is part of a revival of the culture of the Indigenous people of New Zealand. There are some real parallels between Ireland and New Zealand, with majority speaking one language and a significant majority generally being bilingual, and that is the case. And in New Zealand, the Maori language is one which over really about the last 50 years has been reviving. Now, having this today and this week is something very special, because in New Zealand there's been what we call a hikoi, a big walk in New Zealand, where a lot of people have gone to the New Zealand Parliament in support of Maori culture. And a big part of that, both last week in our Parliament and it was only yesterday, it sort of feels, because we're a day and a half away, it sort of it makes a bit of difference being on the other side of the world. But there were somewhere between 40 and 80,000 people walked to our Oireachtas, to our Parliament, in support of Maori culture and the importance of it. And so this timing is special. And I would say, as a New Zealander, it's a mixture of proud and relieved that we've got the record back to New Zealand, because it was having. I've not always been a diplomat, and I'm trying to put this carefully, but having it residing in France was something that didn't sit very well with New Zealanders. And having the record-breaking attempt sort of centred at Eden Park, which is our national stadium, but all around New Zealand, was a fantastic community building event. And that's something which, it just keeps on adding to the, to the pride of our community and underlines the importance of what makes us different as New Zealanders. And that's, that's something that we very much value. I do want to say thank you very much to Castlebridge for getting this record-keeping system going, and for maintaining it and for celebrating it. It is, and I'm sure it is something which is special all around the world. And I know it is it's just a little bit older than me. I think when most people say Guinness in Ireland, they're probably talking about a pint. But when most people say Guinness in New Zealand, they're talking about the Book of Records. Because, well, it's partly probably because the beer doesn't travel very well, but it is something that is a reference book, I think, in at least in all our primary schools, and probably our secondary schools as well. And it's something that I know we used to go and look at to settle arguments, and that's exactly it's the. I spent a little bit of time as Minister of Education. We used to talk about best evidence, and the Guinness Book of Records was regarded as the best evidence for sorting out, arguments, disputes, differences, and so it is an incredibly valuable resource. And for me, it is just lovely to be here on behalf of New Zealand, accepting the record, and we're just so proud that you have ratified it. Thank you very much.
We've got a blessing now from Dan Walker from New Zealand, so that's the connection coming there. It's unfortunately not live because it's after midnight now in New Zealand time. So we recorded this. We also have an interview with Emma Henderson, who was the chief organiser of the record event in the Haka in New Zealand. And then we've got some videos as well to add that. So we get some off there.
Kora koutou katoa. Hello everyone, ko Dan Walker tūwhenua. My name is Dan Walker. Hiri no ngā iwi kei raro I te koro ai te maunga ki tō ia whanako te waka Aotea, ko titoko wari te tangata ko manikaka te apu, ko Ngāti Ruanui, Ngāru Eni o Kiwi. So kia ora everyone, I come from Taranaki, the beautiful lands of Ngāti Ruanui and Ngāru Hine, South Taranaki, which is a beautiful mountain in New Zealand. And from my people, who are mountain people and have been for hundreds, thousands of years, I acknowledge your mountains, your rivers, your lands, your ancestors. I am Māori through my mother, and I'm Scottish and Irish through my dad. This is just a little blessing, a karakia, to kick us off all the way from New Zealand. Nō reira, kei nui tātou. Tuia ki runga, tuia ki raro, tuia ki waho, tuia ki roto. Tuia te here tangata kāno, te pō kāno, te ao, humi e, hui e, pai ki e. Weave and connect us. Connect us to our ancestors, connect us to the land that we're on, and the mana whenua connections. Connect us to the world around us, the mountains, the rivers, the sea, the sky, the rain, the animals, the plants. Connect us to our wairua, our spirit. And then lastly, connect us to each other. Give us the presence of mind in this event that we have on today. Align us, bring us together under the spirit of goodwill. Ki ngā mate o koutou e tātou hoki kua whetūrangi tia haere atu. We pay respects to our ancestors, to all of our loved ones who have passed on. Your loved ones, my loved ones, who are now adorned in the stars looking over us. May they be at peace and go well to the eternal resting place within the heart of our affections. Au ki mai te mauri I ngā hungora nei, tēnā koutou, mara tātou. And then we acknowledge our loved ones who have passed on and leave them, and we acknowledge the living now. Those who carry the weight of our current generations and of our planet, we acknowledge you. E mihi ana ki ngā tangata whenua o Aotearoa. We pay respects to the people of this land in Aotearoa, New Zealand, the Māori people, the tangata whenua, and then we send that respect out to you, wherever you may be. Ki ngā kaumātua I o tātou, ki ngā iwi taki o ngā whenua katoa, e mihi ana ki a koutou o koutou tāpoha e tuiho nei. And I offer reverence to our elders, both past and present, to all First Nation and Indigenous peoples, as well as the ancestors' lands. Ki ngā atua o ngā mea katoa e tūhonohono I a tātou, tēnā koutou. And I say I pay homage and acknowledge our sacred connection to all of us, to the environment, the animals, the water, the land, and our ancestors. By listening to them and to each other, we may further understand the wisdom that we're all intimately connected, physically, spiritually, and culturally. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Te aroha, te wakapono, me te rangi, ari e tātou e. It is faith and it is peace that will save us all. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Koe tū te tiriti.
Dan Walker works at Microsoft. He had a special link coming into Castlebridge for the dance. There was 200 other sessions linked in on another team's event, but our one was a special one. And Dan also sits on the Maori Council as well. So in his time at Microsoft, he brought Gaelic and Maori came onto Microsoft at the same time. So Dan was responsible for the Maori coming onto Microsoft, but the Gaelic was done at the same time. So he worked with the people in Ireland, so there was that connection as well.
So, what we're doing? Oh yeah, so yeah, just connection, I suppose. Now, I don't know if you ever, did you see the haka thing? You know what the haka is, yeah? So they did it, so in a sense, we connected up with them because of the tin whistle, you know, all that, the amazing. So we had great chats about like how, you know, just how it brings people together. So I'll show you what it looked like. There's a minute of it, and then we were talking to one of the organisers afterwards. But this is what it looked like.
I can safely say that you have surpassed the record to me.
That was what happened during, and this is the after. We had a chat with our lady in the night.
Record Day event in Castlebridge. Emma Henderson, chief organiser of the wonderful recent official achievement of the Guinness World Record Haka Ensemble in Eden Park on the 27th of September. Emma, first question, tell us what was it, why was this record so important to New Zealand?
Kia ora everyone. Many reasons actually. I think when we first started talking about doing this, it was a charity fundraiser initially for a Rakatoti Music Therapy Trust, but it quickly became much bigger. We say kaupapa, which is like a organisation, a group, a meaningful event. We realised very quickly what haka means to us as a nation. I think for the world, most people only see it as something to do with rugby, but for us it's a very sacred event that is used in many different reasons, not just for going into battle, but for celebration, for mourning, for protest, for joy, anger, all of the feelings. It holds a lot of meaning to us as New Zealanders, and so to know that it was held by another country was kind of outrageous to us, and it can only ever live in New Zealand. It is a sacred treasure to us, so we had to set the record straight, for want of a better phrase. But
Emma, it's a couple of months past now. What has the impact been on, since the record? What have you seen?
So many things. I think, like what I was saying before, when we went into this, we didn't quite understand the emotion that's held behind haka for us as a nation. And it became very apparent quickly that it meant a lot to a lot of people. So I think for us, it was more than just setting the record, it was an education process for people. Like I said, we see it performed by the All Blacks, and people perform it in their lounge room as part of watching rugby and rugby culture. But there's a history behind kamati, which is the haka that we performed, and it's held by our iwi, Ngāti Toa, who are the guardians of that haka. So we wanted people to know the origins of where what they see the All Blacks performing actually came from.
What was the significance of the connection with the birthplace of Guinness World Records?
We started connecting with yourself and the Castlebridge Inspire team. It was like, we're part of a bigger picture of people who've done amazing things all around the world, and it also meant for us, it gave us visibility to a family of people as well. So it was just, our record is important to us, but it also now has its place in history amongst many other records.
Excellent. And I'll introduce Kyle, who we have on the line as well. He was playing a key part in the communications. Kyle, thank you for all of your efforts, and Paul and Raid being on the reciprocal end of your good work. Tell us just briefly, Kyle, what was, how was it for you in terms of making that connection using the Microsoft Teams capability, which you dedicated to us?
Really, thank you. It was an absolute honor to be part of such a historic event, something that, as Emma shared, united people not only in New Zealand, but throughout the world, and that's what we saw through Microsoft Teams.
So just before we get on to Tim Whistle land, which is the bit we know about, and the connection was that in Castlebridge to connect in. So John, I'm not sure if this is going to come up now, John. So John was in New Zealand in the stadium and connected up with the committee there. He blagged his way on. I don't know how he managed to do it, but anyway, managed to get in, and they gave us a live link. So we were in here, and there was a number of us did the hack at 6 o'clock in the morning just to connect over to them. So I'm not going to show you videos because it was kind of embarrassing. This was I'll show you next time. Well, that was us today. That was our motley crew. Yeah, so this is a married woman, Helen. She came down from Kilkenny. Those funny faces are the faces that women are supposed to do at the end of the haka. Who shows? Give an example. Yeah, see that one? That one. And then the men then do the, what's it called? The men, the tongue out. Yeah, there you go. That's no chance there. Women can too. Okay. The tongues. Helen was saying just stick to the other one. Yeah. So that was our nod. So John managed to get Castlebridge onto the big screen in Eden Park when they were all doing the hacking. Yeah, it was amazing. So there's the hacking.
And Helena's a friend of Trevor's.
Oh, really?
We were at a, we call it a Waika, a Maori language singing group last night. But we also, as well as the Tin Whistlers, we were at the flower as well on the international night. So we've only been going for about 18 months.
Yeah.
Some of them can sing very well. I can mouth the words pretty well.
That's brilliant.
Excellent. So, just the reminder now, we're going to present some T-shirts. They're symbolic of what's been achieved in the world, and then we're going to have Barbara and Catherine have a quick chat about some thoughts and reflections. Well, you're welcome to express the post-event thoughts. And then we're going to hear about some exciting news for what's planned for next year, what's on the menu, so things to look forward to, I guess. And we will be able to complete after that. So we'll just do the presentation. So we're going to present to Trevor, which is on behalf of all the record holders now in New Zealand. We'll make a presentation to Gráinne Ryan, the principal of the school, to the students here. But they are again representing all of those thousands of students who were there on the day, who gave up their time. And as we know, at one point, there was 600 new students who took up the twin whistle for that record. And that's really important to us because we know when people come together, just as in New Zealand, well, a lot of new people, including our group around the world, took up the haka. So this is something that's very important, and this is something we focus a lot on. And so we're I'm ready to do the presentation. So Trevor, if you'd like to come up first and we'll present it.
Maybe I'll take one.
You're going to come and fight. Much better if you get it tighter.
I'm Gráinne Ryan on behalf of the students. And then we're going to have Barbara and Catherine as well. Just a bit. Yeah, this is from the school.
Well done, school. Chairs, it's huge.
Just want to do it with Barbara. If you want to do your presentation as well, and then we're gonna talk about it.
Sorry.
She's someone else.
Do you want to check the latest notes?
I think we'd be video over
With the crowd.
all of those photos are too light.
Yes.
Just do it here.
Or even down by the exit, that might be okay.
We can get them after.
Yeah.
Time of photographs. Can we just get photographs?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, cool. We'll just do this. Just do this. We'll get through.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Billy. Well done.
Okay, so we're going to what do we do? Watch the video of the kids? No. But okay. So I'm just going to maybe just ask Barbara, or is like Catherine, would you like to just answer a question?
Yeah, of course.
So Barbara led. We were able to organise some community lessons. We were called the Castlebridge Tin Whisters, and there were many other groups around Ireland as well doing the same. In some cases there were families actually around the table. We heard stories where at night time after dinner the families would actually take out the tin whist and practice. But our group was led by Catherine, and Catherine did not only arrange that group, but she did a lot of the focus and raised a lot of awareness for what this record was about. She did a lot of media and during the FA as well. You may have seen her on television even a couple of times. And so I just want to ask Catherine, what was that like for you, the whole experience? Because this has been, at least 6 months that you've been working and helping them around organising this.
But sure, it was absolutely amazing. FLA committee and my own twin sister Barbara came up with the idea, and we've been going to FLAs for probably 40 years, haven't we? 41. And Barbara said, let's do a world record attempt. So we did, and she got me to go around to schools, and then we started coming here to Castlebridge Inspire, to John and Paul and Raid, and sure, we probably had a couple of ladies here from our two whistlers. There's a lot of them are in school today, and we probably had up to 200 here, didn't we? Time to time we used to come over the summer months, but what a day in the park. It was unbelievable. So we were to beat 1-0, 1-5, and we smashed it, and we got 2-5, 1-6. But I remember my outstanding memory was walking in and seeing the queues to register, and then the park filling up, which was amazing.
We sort of knew at that stage.
Yes, we did.
We could have a good number. Yeah.
It was amazing.
Great.
But it's all about music, and myself and Barbara and Hamish, we're all teachers, music teachers for years, and music players. And it's just such a community thing. Look at Eilert there, all those students. Isn't music brilliant? No. How amazing is it? Because you're all playing loads of instruments thanks to your teacher, Mr. Stewart, and we're a community in Castlebridge, the birthplace of Guinness World Records, and we all came together. And Barbara's over the flag, and we all love Irish music, and it all came together.
I think this is the golden age of Irish music in Wexford now, where
100%,
we have the best time, and next year, of course, another flag. Great, well, thank you very much, Catherine. Barbara, we'd like to hear a little bit as well. Obviously, Barbara had much larger responsibilities, more than just the Tin Whistle World Record. It was only one of many events that were run that week, but it was another thread, it was another thing that had to be planned out for. So Barbara was, again, this was, I think about 9 months in the making. I think it's, if I remember correctly, we got involved around 6 months or so, and we connected in with the Guinness World Records. But Barbara, I guess the question for you is, this record itself, what did it mean in the context of the overall flag? So tell us a little bit about what the flag meant to you, and then how the record itself, where that sat.
No problem. Hi everybody. So I am the coaches chair of Flag Keona here, the vice chairperson of the FE's Flag Executive Committee, and it has been an 8-year battle to get the flag to come to Wexford, and we're absolutely thrilled we got it. It was magnificent. Among my responsibilities were all the projects. So things like all of the competitions and all of the extracurricular things, but I sat up in bed one night about 4 o'clock in the morning and I went, the Guinness World Record, that's what we're going to do. And the simplest instrument is a tin whistle, and it's the cheapest, and it's often the nicest instrument as well. Apart from the pipers here and the harpists and the organs and the guitars and all, they're beautiful as well, and I can play them as well. But the whistle is just melodic, it's beautiful, and everyone can afford one. So I said, sure, why not we do 2 whistles? And at the time I didn't, I obviously only recently, in the last kind of 10 years, I knew about the link with Castlebridge. So then I spoke to Catherine, and then Catherine spoke to
Siobhan as well.
And Siobhan, absolutely. Yes, that's right. And everyone thought I was mad, and I am mad. But it was definitely the highlight of the flag. Now, we had many highlights, but the positivity, the happiness, and for me, the fact that families were playing together, and like you go to school and you end up, oh, they're going to teach me the tin whistle. I don't want to play music. But 15 years later, 40 years later, you're still able to play the tin whistle. And we still have people who are at 80 years of age starting to play music because they started off when they were in school on the tin whistle. So it's very important. It's like the gateway to traditional music, to any music. And you can go on to this, to harp, or put an accordion, or fiddle, or banjo, and play the same tunes. So it was a hugely significant moment. So much so, we might just do it again.
Great. Well, that leads us on to an interesting question then. Can you, and again, the context is Kyoto's, who organised the Flag Keol, that's their series of events. But Barbara, can you give us some indication of perhaps what we can expect next year, next August, during the flag? What is there any hints or anything you can let us know at this stage?
Well, we can't say anything to anyone because no one knows about this yet, right? Only those of us in the room. So what I'm thinking of doing is, like, we have tin whistles, we have banjos, we have accordions. What about if we had the biggest Katie band in the world? So that's a nice thing to look at, because you can bring the tin whistles and the button accordions and the harps and the pipes together.
We've got a few here already today.
Yes, well look, that's it. And the record is only 300. So no pressure, like we had last year. And what if we didn't just do one? What if we tried to do 2 together?
I think there's a bit of a challenge for us.
Bit of a challenge. We often forget about our poor dancers, and the set dancers of the world, they are fanatical about attending class, and I just thought it would be lovely to have the stand full all around, but have dancing on the pitch, which would be fabulous. So I met with Castlebridge Inspire a couple of weeks ago to see if it was possible that we could do that. So I'm bringing it back to a meeting now Tuesday night in our flag executive committee, it was a beautiful day.
And Wexford is known for its set dancing too, so that could be a great opportunity.
Well, yeah, one of my projects was to revive the Wexford House set, which we done as part of the FLAB, and we had 300 dancers turn up on the quay, and that was spectacular as well. So, you know, it's great to have, and it's great to get excited about it, because everybody was so excited about it last year, you know? We weren't sure what they were going to.
No, we have a lot of learnings, and it's great to have done that, and so we're excited that we have a really good runway this year. So we'll be really eager to help out and recreate some of the great things from last year.
So what we'll probably do is we'll probably pick tunes to a set of reels very, very soon to get going now. It will be a little bit faster than the Boys of Wexford, but it's still doable. Everyone can do it. Just in case you can do it. Yeah. Everyone can do it. Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So we're going to watch what the tin whistles look like now. There's a practice one. Sorry, the practice that we did.
As Barbara said, there were little groups all over the country doing kind of tin whistle for some people for the first time. So we were here in this hall, and we used to meet every Sunday. The tin whistles. Catherine led it out, and then ended up doing a trainer. So there was a few people then ended up being the next one. So a few of these. This is how it started out. I think this was probably the second. So it does get better.
Secret film, by the way.
That was the first one, and then it gets a little bit better. So you do it quick.
I just wanted to say, I work as a scientist, right? And most people, we have quality control. There was no quality control in this experiment. Okay, so when we press go, you'll see it now in a second. Everyone was so good, it sounded so fantastic. Considering there was no rehearsal. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thank you. I had to drag him out of school today.
IT consultant.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. That was the second. So we got closer, and it was about 12 or 13 maybe sessions we did, like you practice. And then just to remind you then what it actually looked like on the day. Have you seen this ever? No. We're okay. Technical.
Here in Wexford, and it's absolutely brilliant. We're going to break the world record here. This many people playing the tin whistle in the one go here in Wexford town. So up the flat, up Wexford.
Okay, Wexford, are you ready for your official Guinness World Record attempt for the largest tin whistle? It begins in 3, 2, 1, go! the stewards have given me their counts. There was a couple that weren't playing, so you've been discounted, but that's okay. Because you know the figure to beat was 1,015. Well, today, oh, and now drum roll. You achieved 2,560. So congratulations.
Very good, very good. This meeting is sponsored by Tommy Hilfiger.
We couldn't actually hear the amount because everyone starts cheering straight away. We
Start
can't say it
cheering
back
down.
into the mic.
Great. Well, just a few more messages before we wrap up, and after this, there will be a chance to take a picture with the. Paul likes to play this a lot, actually.
Nightmare.
Just in my head, or?
Yeah, that's it. So just a few things. So it's an opportunity to take your picture with the certificate today. Also, Trevor is available, I think, for some photos too. We may have the people might be coming here.
Yeah, I think at 12 o'clock, it's in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, so they will take a photo with us. I just to share, we always say here at Castlebridge Inspire that all current record holders are invited to this town to tell their story to inspire the future record holders. So I've no doubt that there are more future record holders in this room. We always meet them, we always meet the current ones as well. And that's really important. That's what Castlebridge is so special. It's the one place in the world that record holders are always welcome. There is no other place that says that and means it and can mean it, because this is the birthplace. But what we do here, and what we will get to eventually, is we are looking about, helping to build things around this town that build meaning and purpose for that, so that people will come here and see a lot more in the future. We are a small group today, and I do want to recognise Paul and Mairead as well as part of the close team. But there are many other people in this community, and also I do want to recognise that Robbie Staples is here as a local councillor member. He has done a lot of work for us, and very interested in following what we do, because it helps people, of course. So again, thank you everyone for coming, and thank you to our students, and I look forward to seeing some of you at the records next year as well. I'm sure you'll be there. So yeah, that's great, and yeah, I think that's it. Thank you.